Hey everybody, it's Matt Michaels here. Welcome to another episode of Matt Michaels People I Don't Hate. And right now, I've got Sin City Steve, DJ Impact, Simon Street, and they're here because we're here with a I'm going to get emotional here for a second, a very important person in my life. And I hope for anyone listening or watching is going to be or is an important person in your life. That's Diamond Dallas Page. DDP, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, great to be here. Now that we got the time down. I always say when I know someone's coming from 818, because my phone number begins 323. We all know that's LA. I've kept that number. So you guys just assume that when anybody's over there, because they see 323, like, well, yeah, 1230. I don't realize that it's really 3:30 because I'm in Atlanta. So it all worked out. It all worked out.
Well, one of the biggest things I want to talk about right off the bat is something that is really in this time very important. We're seeing a lot of articles out there nowadays about people not wanting to re-up into gyms. Now, you're always going to have your certain population doing it, but in this day and age, what you have going with DDPY is almost a necessity for people in their lives and helping them stay healthy. Can you kind of elaborate on where you think the gym industry is headed? Because you used to, be a musclehead yourself and you be involved in it. And now you have one of what I would say the most popular workout apps in this business. And 10 years ago, when we first met, there was no such thing as apps that gave you, what you give in DDPY.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It really, when I saw, let's just go back a little farther, digress to the COVID situation. When I saw Italy shut down, I knew this shit was real. And even though it ain't here yet, the way it was talking about coming from China and all that, my daughter lives with me and my granddaughter and my girlfriend. And they're young. My daughter's 32. My girlfriend's 46. I'm 64, and they still have that. Oh, come on! Stop being so negative, about this thing. I go, listen, I'm not negative. You should know me. I'm a negative bone in my body. I'm about being prepared. So I had him build what we call our apocalypse room, which has got, 20 cases of Orgain protein, which is probably the best plant-based protein out there. They don't pay me to say that. But we've got everything. I have 3 refrigerators in my house and a freezer. They're all stocked. Now, I wasn't thinking that as we were doing this, that everything was going to explode 5 months ago. I didn't think that.
Right.
It was when they started putting people back on the street again, and we have to do this, where we're putting people back on the street again, so, where they can go to the gym, what you said, hairdressers, nail salons, restaurants. And I got interviewed by TMZ right when everything, shut down the first time, because 3 of the guys on TMZ do DDP yoga, better known today as DDPY. So they were like, dude, we'd love to have you on. Harvey, Levin wants to talk to you, him and Charles. So it was awesome. And, of course, it started to blow up. Then the governor of Georgia, Kemp, he was one of the first ones to start saying, okay, you can go back to the gym. You can go back to the hairdressers, tattoo parlor, et cetera, et cetera. And they immediately called me back. And they said, are you opening your gym again? My DDP Yoga Performance Center. And I was like, no. And they were like, why? Do you think? And they tried to get me to bury the governor so hard. He's Republican. And I just was at a meeting that he was at. I'm not a Republican. I was one of the small businesses that's in the area, and he came down to this part of Georgia, and he spoke, and they talked about a lot of things. And I could tell the way he talking, like, he don't really buy into the whole COVID thing. And I didn't want to bury him. So I said, listen, he's a good guy. I even voted for him. I said, he's trying to get people back to work. You have to understand, Georgia, rural state. Atlanta, monster city. Everywhere else, very rural. Like friggin' maybe one person has it in Dallas County,
Right.
So bottom line is, I literally walked right down the middle. Next thing you know, boom, I'm on Anderson Cooper, who was cool as shit. I had him laughing on 2 different occasions, and he basically said, "So what do you think's going to happen? After people start going back to work?" I said, "Well, that remains to be seen. Personally, I'm erring on the side of caution." That's what I said. And over that period, like our sales, because of on top of what we've already built, people invested in the program. What blew my mind was how many DVDs we are still selling. Blows my mind. You're thinking, who the fuck has a DVD player? But I'll tell you who do. And maybe some of you guys do, but you don't look at it as a DVD player. Xboxes.
Yep.
All the gamers, like the gaming companies that come up with these games, as long as they keep things on DVDs, and why would they digitalize them? So people can just rip them? Like that's the biggest business, bigger than movies, bigger than everything. Now, way bigger than movies now. The world has changed. And Jim's situation, talking to Kevin Nash yesterday, about a week ago, and he told me he's in the gym. Kevin's the only guy. He's 61 now. I'm 64. He's the only guy that thinks crazy healthy like I do. But we'll still have a cocktail, knock down a couple bottles of wine. We still eat meat. But we a selected amount of meat. But he's very health conscious. So in the gym, he's got the rubber gloves on. He's got the mask on. He's wiping down the shit before he goes on it. Now, most guys aren't. Now, there's a big article just came out with quite a few of them, how, gym memberships, people, it's not the guy who goes to the gym 5 days a week they're going to lose. You're going to lose some of them. Where the gyms make their big money, like LA Fitness, Equinox, name one, Planet Fitness.
Yep.
They make their money on the masses of people who want to be in shape like me, and selling them the dream and keeping them, guilty to a certain degree of, you need to do the workout. I need to at least have my membership. At least I've got my membership. And if you're never going to use it, though, that's going to shift off to the app. And we started working on this app in 2013. That's when I did I can't think of the name right now. Shark Tank. When we did Shark Tank, we were already building our app. All we wanted from the Sharks was $200,000. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't want that. I wanted none of their money. I just wanted to give someone 5% to have their professional opinion and to own, which will be a piece of the next Beachbody. Beachbody did, Insanity, P90X. They've done every workout thing you see on TV, Beachbody has done. Mm-hmm. And it's all done in a way so that they get their people selling it for them on a market. It's like that stuff called marketing, where they're giving you a piece of everything. Not direct marketing.
Multi-level
marketing. They all get a piece of it. But what they really sell is this bottle of protein, and it's like all in one meal. And they sell it for $90 for a thing that would, you would get double that size if it was ordained. But then they all take their pieces So this company makes stupid money, Beachbody. So one of the things that Mr. Wonderful said to my business partner, Steve Yu, while we were on Struck Tank, he's like, in the fitness world, you know, you could fill a stadium with all the DVDs that athletes and actors have made trying to sell their fitness workout. How are you guys besides Beachbody and Gaiam, no one's successful. How are you guys making money? And Steve said, we inspire people. Mr. Wonderful went, oh, no, yeah, right, yeah. But how do you make the money? I go, we inspire people. Like, that's what we do. We empower others to think beyond traditional limits, to find inspiration and adversity, and be the most trusted fitness company on the planet. That's our, that is our, what do they call it?
Mantra?
What did you say?
Mantra?
Not mantra, but close. That is our mission statement.
Mission statement.
That's our mission statement. To empower others to think beyond traditional limits, to find inspiration and adversity, and be the most trusted fitness company on the planet. It's on the walls. It's everywhere. It's who we are. And at the end, it was great because Wonderful said 5%. They all got burned on workout stuff. So they don't do that anymore. But Wonderful said 5% for 200%, more like 50% for 200,000. And I just, whoa, you know, bang. I had a lot of fun on that. I had a lot of fun on that show. It aired in 2014, and it was our biggest year. Like, it doubled. We did $1 million in 5 days. It doubled our sales and net worth. So we had zero debt on our building.
Wow.
Everything. And then we came down. Next couple of years, we bounced up. Last year, we beat the numbers for Shark Tank, and this year, I'm sure we're going to go up another 20% because it isn't just DVDs. It isn't just one-off. It's the app. In the app, as you know, it has everything from workouts in bed, like you can't get out of bed. We got 3 workouts for you. And my bed flags workouts. Then you put you in a chair. The 12 workouts, sitting in a chair. Then stand strong using a chair. Then you go to beginner to cycle extreme. Motivational Mondays every Monday. Cooking shows every week. Super healthy food that tastes delicious. And then all this tracking and everything. So if you can't, DDPY works if you work. If you don't work, nothing works. So in answer to a really long answer to a detailed event to that question, I think that everything has changed. And where we're at right now, everything has happened that we're arguing, and I'm watching assholes on Instagram and Twitter like, here, I'm not wearing a mask. If someone went to cough in my face, I would rip their fucking head off, And I think I would be like, he threw the first punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part.
It's just a lot of it. I've seen are women that are doing it because have they not watched what's happening in the rest of the world? Like, you don't want to wear a mask. Don't wear one. Stay the fuck away from me. Yeah. If I don't know you, I know your lifestyle because, the shit's changed. The shit's changing. Now let's adapt to it and get better, because if this was our dry run, if this is our practice run when Ebola came out, because Ebola got very self-contained. A lot of people don't even know that Ebola was out there and starting to move. They clamped down on that shit immediately. If this was Ebola, easily half our country would be dead already. So we really failed, for our first real run at a pandemic. Hopefully we'll learn something from this.
Absolutely. just following, since you brought up COVID, the video that you did recently, and if listeners haven't seen it, go out and look it up on YouTube, talking about COVID and how it's affected you. It's amazing the fact of how you could be negative, your girlfriend could be positive, you could have two totally different experiences, and then Brittany, your daughter, could walk around and take care of you guys. It's mind-blowing how much we don't know, and that's the scariest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, they only tell us a little bit too.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
And you can't believe what the fuck they're saying on top of that. Like,
Yes.
we have the two worst choices in the history of presidents. Because we didn't know, like, Trump has been really good in some ways. He's been really good. But say that near a bunch of Democrats and they will slay you. But the bottom line is, he's done some good things. Is he the biggest asshole on the planet? Is he an embarrassment to white people? Like, oh my God, did you just say that, dude? What the fuck's wrong with you? You know, I believe that he really thinks he's doing good, but he's the emperor with no clothes. The shit, like, he tells people what they want to hear. You know, that him and Biden, oh my God, that those are our choices. And to me, I'm siding with Biden because we don't need it to get to friggin' civil war.
Yeah.
You know, and the way it's looking right now is great. Thank God, really, the COVID did explode when it did, you know, because with all the protests and all the stuff, and there's a lot of good points to a lot of the things they're protesting on, because the protesters are not the ones, and I don't understand how someone's not saying this. The protesters are not the ones that are causing the riots and the fucking stealing. That's the criminal element that step into the sheep so the wolves can come out and create fucking havoc.
Yep.
I've never heard anyone really say that on the news, though.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't get it. It even took the John Jones and a couple of UFC fighters I saw getting their voice together and stopping people.
Yep.
You know, it's, you know, the one thing that is that I'm thankful for, you know, I hate all the protests and all the shit, but there's a message there. And I'm glad that, you know, it's like 60, 70% white people talking about black people. You know what I mean? Because I do believe that things need to fucking change. But they needed to change back when fucking Obama was running the fucking country. Which Obama, whether you like him or not, that motherfucker looks pretty good right now. You know? How do you like me now? But I'll tell you what, Bush looks unbelievable right now. You know, I have a picture of me and Bush that I took. At one point during his presidency, I took it off the wall. I finally put it back up again because, and I have a picture of me and Trump and Melania from 2002 when I was working with the WWE, and he happened to be one of the people who were there, that were one of the celebrities that were doing signings and pictures and shit. I got a picture, never knowing it was Melania. I just saw some broad he was banging. I've never put that picture up. And again, I'd rather see him than Hillary, you know, but now, fuck, I think I'd rather see Biden than him. But I know one thing, I want our country to start to come together, you know, off this COVID thing instead of ripping each other apart, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I do have to, I wish I could fucking, I can't remember the video I saw. Had Morgan Freeman and Denzel and a lot of very high power influential black men that talked about racism and how, I would never say there's no racism because there's racism on both sides, on all sides, but it's a powerful, positive video. Mm-hmm. And I put it up, I took it from somebody, I put it up on my wall on Facebook, which I never do. I just happened to do it. And there was some person, oh, now I see how you really feel. You're a racist and blah, 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 blah. They get blah, blah, blah. And I went, for starters, I was living with a black woman for 8 years, and my beautiful baby granddaughter is black. Mm-hmm. You might not want to put racist and me together because they don't work, But then so many people came on and started defending me. I didn't say anything. I did after I said that, but then she got it. I was just saying such a powerful message. God, it's kind of like when Martin Luther King, had a dream and in that speech that he did, that my children, will be able to just be children, not black kids. The way he didn't say it like that, but that's my version of how he said. It's basically like human beings, be able to be equal. And that's kind of like what this thing said to me. Like there's going to come, there's always going to be racism, but overall, I'm hoping that out of this, that it grows. And again, we come together, that's my hope. That's my hope. Let's all just love each other, help each other, because we all need it right now.
That we do. That we do. Well, one thing I did want to ask is you came out with a book back in 2019. Positively unstoppable.
Positive.
Art.
Positivity.
Boom.
Unstoppable.
There you go. Awesome book. Sorry. Awesome book. I'm actually currently reading it. Only got to the second chapter. I'm just going to be honest up front. But I have other friends who have read it. And it's interesting enough, as we speak about COVID, I feel like the element of why a lot of people choose to go on the negative side and focusing on negativity is because they're not familiar with positivity within themselves. And I know in your book, you talk about becoming obstacles and the voices saying you can't do it and looking at, success, you see it. And the one thing I've read so far, you said, write it down. If you think it, ink it. What was your inspiration with that book? And will you write another one now that you got some time?
I already have my next book ready to go, and I don't want to give the exact title out because I don't want anybody to have it, but it's about youth and owning youth, no matter how old you get. Like, again, I just turned 64 in April, and I don't think my best friends are still 6 of the guys I grew up with. We still talk all the time, like all the time. And half of them look really old. And they have, they're retired and, whatever. You have to be active. And I don't mean going to the bingo parlor. You have to be active. Like I was thinking about the other day because one of my buddies collecting Social Security. Wow. I'm thinking, I don't think I'll ever collect Social Security. Nice to have that little chump change, but I don't think I ever will because I'll never stop. The reason why I wrote Positively Unstoppable, and the second part of the title is the art of owning it. And it is whatever the fuck you want it to be. It could be, I want to be a doctor. I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to, want to change the world. And when people ask me, DDP, what are you doing these days? If they don't know, if they're under a rock and somehow they don't know, I tell them I'm changing the world. And inch by inch, person by person, it's kind of, and you guys watch my wrestling career. I started in '89 as a manager, color commentator. Went to Dusty and worked with Dusty Rhodes in '90 at Florida Championship Wrestling as a manager and color commentator. I never left my real job. I still was running nightclubs. Then I got the shot to go to WCW as a manager. Dusty brought me in. 5 months in, they tell me, yeah, the hair, the clothes, the rap, the dolls, the bling. Like nobody's looking at the wrestlers. Like you're taking on, it's not your fault. In other words, DDP was too over the top for professional wrestling. Think about that. You know? As a manager, but as a wrestler, and I had 7 months left of my contract, I was like, I have 7 months left of my contract. When I came into this business at 23, I had 3 matches. I sucked. I hurt my knee. I got rerouted, and next thing I was running nightclubs, and it didn't happen overnight. Took 6 years to be an overnight sensation, and was just killing it in the bar business. And at some point, while I was in the bar business, I started doing this stuff, and I got back into wrestling while I was doing that. And I became a wrestler at 35 and a half years old. And everybody said I was nuts. They thought I was crazy. They said it couldn't be done. That's a part of Positively Unstoppable. Mm-hmm. You see, I don't care who tells you you can't do something. The only person that has any power is you. Like, for me, I decided the people who said I couldn't do it, Michael P.S. Hayes, when I told him my last day managing the Freebirds, we were in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I know because there's this blue, like, plastic curtain that they have, and I was right in front of it. And I looked at them and I told them, they're not letting me manage you guys anymore. And they were like, yeah, man, sorry, D. Well, you still get to be a color commentator. I go, no, I'm going to be a wrestler. And Hayes said, what? I said, I got 7 months left in my contract. I'm going to go on power play. I'm going to learn how to wrestle. Him and Garvin started laughing so hard that Hayes fell down laughing. Wow. And I love Michael Hayes. I say this to say that it was incredible fuel for me. Tell me what I can't do and I'll prove you wrong. No one's going to outwork me. In 1996, I had a match with Sting. This is before my career blew up. This is like around February of 96. And I just happened to be home the next day on Tuesday. And I heard the phone ring. And it went to the message where you could hear, Paige, hey, ass. Hey, man. But hey, Mike, how you doing, bro? Good to hear you. Oh, motherfucker. Son of a bitch. God damn. Mike, you okay? You all right? Yeah, God damn. Paige. It was Paige. You know, sometimes when you call someone and you don't want them to answer the phone because you want to leave a fucking message. I said, yeah. He said, do you want me to hang up so you can leave a message? No, fuck it. Listen, Paige, saw your match last night with Stinger. We all did. Mm. He said, let me tell you, kid, I have never been so happy to eat crow as I am right now. Great job. Go fuck yourself now. Click.
That's awesome.
It was a great feeling. But I use those people, the dream stealers, you know, as fuel. Greg Gagne, when I was training, he was working with our company. Greg gave me my first shot in AEW. He brought me, AEW, AWA. He gave me my first shot. And he was down the power plant by this time because Eric Bischoff's, he's, Eric Bischoff wasn't even running shit then. All I know is I was down the power plant and I was training shit, right? And this one day we all ended up some strip joint after practice, a bunch of us, like 20 of us. And him and Mike Graham, who gave me the break in Florida Championship Wrestling, Mike and I were good buddies. And him and Gagne were good buddies. And I looked at Greg Craig, and I said, you don't think I'm ever going to make it, do you? No, I said, why do you dislike me so much? What did I do to not be in your favor? He said, I don't dislike you, Dallas. I think you're a great guy. I said, come on. I go, all right, let me try this then. You don't ever think I'm going to make it, do you? He said, to be honest? I said, yes, please be honest. And he thought about it. And I mean, maybe 15, 20 seconds. And then he looked at me straight in the face. He goes, no, I don't think you're ever going to make it.
Wow.
And I said, what don't I have? And he said, charisma. I spit my beer out of my mouth. Holy fuck. Coming out of my mother's womb, there's two things you could never tell me that I can't do. Talk and charisma. Because I reek of both. I go, it's okay though. I go, I appreciate your honesty, bro. And that fueled me like crazy. At Mean Gene's funeral last year, Greg was one of the few guys who were there, which really shocked me.
Wow.
A bunch of the AWA guys were there. I don't know another guy that wasn't from the AWA that was there. Oh, yes. Kevin Green was there. You know, not Kevin Green. That's his last name. Kevin, who runs the show for Vince.
Oh,
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn. Where did I get Kevin Green from? Oh, yeah, Kevin Dunn. Good guy. Ann Kerwin was there, who's the director. Yeah. Okay, so through those times, they love Gene. And they even came up to me and were like, where is everybody? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, we're in Sarasota. But the moment that was so cool for me, and Greg Gagne came walking up to me. And as he was walking up to me, and I shook his hand, and he grabbed the hands of you an apology. He said, I never should have said that to you. I didn't realize I've been right about just about everybody. Let's hope you forgive me. I said, bro, I go, that's awesome. I go, there's no negativity, Greg. I said, you pushed me harder than anyone ever could have. And dude, I consider it a blessing. And, you know, we hugged, we talked, and then he came around at the, later on, we were at the bar, and I was getting ready to leave, and he came around again, he gave me a hug, and he goes, listen, man, I'm so proud of you. You know, I mean, he put me over huge, and, he apologized to me another couple of times. I'm like, dude, let that go. I'm good. You were a major force behind my success. You gave me my first break ever, and you pushed me harder than anyone just with those comments. So I thank you. Me and him are super tight today, by the way, like super tight. He's actually trying to even pitch a reality show for me and stuff. He's a class act guy, and I'm so glad I got to see him. But this right here, all right, this is all about mindset. Like, I'm going to read you the first 3 lines of the book. And the first part is called Positively Unstoppable, Living Life at 90%. The living life, people say, why not 100? I believe that life's 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it.
Yeah.
It's all here. It's this 6-inch piece of real estate between your ears. That's what controls everything. So here's the opening couple of lines. If you knew that your success was guaranteed, what would you do? Seriously, think about it. Or try it this way. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? In our personal lives, our professional lives, every one of us are constantly hit with one adversity after another. Look at the world right now. Most of which we have no control over. Look at the world right now. The one thing that we really control is this. It's our mindset. It's how we process information. We control the way we react, how we adapt, and how we take action. Now, a knee-jerk reaction, that's never good. The biggest thing that we control over all this, when you work at it, the way we breathe. And breathing has everything to do with the way you will react, adapt, and take action. I've been to Iraq 3 times, Afghanistan once. Not to fight. I've been there to entertain, to inspire, to build morale in a shithole. And the first time I went there was 9/11 was in 2001, right? Or 2000,
yes.
When was it?
Yeah, 2001.
In 2003, I went to Iraq with Rob Dibble, the nasty boy who played for Cincinnati Reds, won the MVP during their last World Series championship.
Yep.
Great guy. So we went and took pictures and went everywhere. We had to go to the troops because there was no even place to go. It wasn't like we ended up, I said, let's just go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner to see them because that's where we're going to see. Everybody's got to come there at whatever FOB we're at. And then we'll go see out to other FOBs, which means field operation bases. And at the end of the night, I would always do whatever FOB I landed on, or we landed on, I would work out. They do my DDPY program with the troops. And so many of those guys have written me and do the program. Like my program, if you go to ddpy.com or ddpyoga.com, if you were ever in the military, any branch, any country, but I'm doing that, but it's really America and Canada, and Britain, wherever people go that've been in the military. I don't ever come down, like right now there's a 20% break on our DVDs, on our app. Can't find that anywhere. Apple, Google, you can't on their iTunes accounts. You can't find that, but you can find it on ddpy.com or ddpyoga.com. I never, ever, except for holidays, go up to 30%, ever. Military, though, always Veterans Day. Every day, it's 50% off for all veterans. And it's just something I do to give back. And when I would go and speak to the troops, because that happened all the time, and I would get to talking about this 6-inch piece of real estate, I would talk about, how we control the way we react, adapt, and take action. Most importantly, we control the way we breathe. When the shit hits the fan, who do you want to be standing next to? The guy who's going, okay, you guys ready? You ready? Or going to go, whoa, dude. Breathe. Before I walked out to get my Hall of Fame ring, I started 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, then 5, then 10. Before I walk on the stage with my 4 daughters to do my 27-minute induction speech, there's only one thing running through my mind. This is going to be the greatest thing I've ever done in professional wrestling. I'm going to blow everyone away. I'm going to make them laugh. I'm going to make them cry. I'm going to inspire them. That's the only voice. I'm also breathing in and out for 20. So I'm not up here. I'm here.
Exactly.
And coming at you with power. The power that can maybe even transform your life. So to answer your question again, I keep getting cameo after cameo after cameo today. It's like crazy, which is a really great way to inspire people.
Yeah.
I get so much of that. And people see I don't do like a 30-second cameo. I've done cameos. The shortest one's probably 4 minutes. The longest one I did was 17. And it's just a guy who needed help. Yeah. And I just kept going. And you know what I kept talking about? That. Positively Unstoppable. Because when you asked me what this was, why I wrote it, it was to inspire people to believe in themselves. But the only way they can believe in themselves is by the story they tell themselves. My favorite quote ever, and it's in the book. And if you heard me say it, don't answer the question. But if you've never heard me say this, you can guess. Here is the quote. The repetitions of affirmations leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Now, any of you guys know who said that? Okay, I didn't think you would. All right. Now I'm going to segue. Year and a half ago, I'm down at NXT working with the guys and the girls who are the biggest studs ever. Yeah. Lacey Evans was a part of that crew. Shayna Baszler was a part of that crew. Yep. Tommaso Ciampa, friggin' Aleister Black. I mean, the top shelf as far as I'm concerned. Ricochet. I mean, unbelievable athletes and people who are there listening. And at the end of the workout, I just did a little promo talking about life and, journeys and overcoming adversities. And I ended with that quote. And I asked anybody, does anyone know who said that? Of course, none of them do. So I said, well, let's break it down first. The repetitions of affirmations, that could be really good, or that could be really bad. Like, before I went out to get my speech, to do my speech in front of 20,000 people for the Hall of Fame, millions, I always do this, and millions. That's what should be our next president. I would friggin' campaign my ass off for friggin' The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I would campaign my ass off for him. I'm going to be in front of millions of people live on USA and on the network, which is only $9.99, by the way. And I'm going to, I could have easily been in my head with, God, what was I thinking? Why? Why would I write a speech that's 27 minutes? What if I forget where I am? What if I freeze? What if my iPad that I'm bringing out the ring, what if it runs out of batteries? What if I knew my success was a certainty? What if I knew I was going to go out and blow everyone away? That's a whole different ballpark. After I came back from my speech, about 2/3 of the way through the night, one of my favorite people, Beth Phoenix, walked up to me. And she said, I got to tell you, I was sitting there riveted to the screen, listening to your speech. And I got to tell you, I was so nervous before I saw you speak. And it gave me such power to go out there and really enjoy it. And she killed it. She had fun up there. She was amazing. I mean, that's the first family of wrestling. 2 Hall of Famers in her family. After the McMahons, it's absolutely, the Hunters, the Levesques, it's absolutely, the Copelands. But, the repetitions of affirmations can be really bad. I guess they say that the golden rule in the Bible is treat people the way they want to be treated, or they treat themselves. I believe in the platinum rule. I want you to treat me the way I want to be treated. Mm-hmm. Because you treat yourself like shit. You talk bad about yourself, You have no fucking confidence. You put shit food in your mouth. You don't give a fuck what you do to your body between smoking, overly drinking, eating shit food, and talking shit about yourself. Please do not treat me like that, because I don't do any of that shit. I put amazing, healthy food in my stomach to generate my body that tastes amazing. There's 200 friggin' cooking shows just on the app. And it goes from everything from juices, juice drinks, meaning from vegetables, to protein shakes that taste insane, to killer breakfast, to the other day, Nada Moo is the best ice cream out there that's not made from cow. And instead of not made from cow pus, it's made from coconut. It's fucking delicious. And I broke it up with some strawberries, mixed it together, blended with fresh strawberries. And then my daughter, Brittany's, my little granddaughter, Oakley Paige Palmer, OPP.
I love it.
She's eating these crackers. She's been eating them for the last two months. She's 11 months old. But these crackers, you put in your mouth, there's a little bit, they start to dissolve. So I go, let me see what's in that. They're organic. And it goes through the list. They're basically air. There's like no sodium. There's no sugar. There's no nothing in them that's bad for you. And I'm like, well, what the hell's in it? And it has a long list of all these organics things that they put together, these little crackers. So I was making strawberry, vanilla, ice cream sandwiches. It's shit like that. I put good, healthy food in my body. I talk incredibly positive about everything I'm doing. I don't let people around me that are negative be around me. Like, I'll get rid of you. Like, I tried to help you. I want to try in so long. After that, you're on your own. So it's all about Positively Unstoppable is all about the story you tell yourself. The repetitions of affirmations, good or bad, leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Now, you don't know who said it. And anybody who's watching the show has no fucking idea who said it. But 98% of the people who are watching the show are going to know who he is by what his affirmation was. What was his personal affirmation? He was one of those guys like me who tells everybody. But there's one thing that he said, and this is what it was. I am the greatest. I am the greatest of all time. Yeah, not Jericho. Who said that? Seriously? Who said it? I'm the greatest? Who?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Come on, there's only one fucking greatest. Maybe
exactly.
Gretzky was the great one, and The Rock stole the great one, and Jericho myself. But the greatest of all time is this motherfucker.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yes.
When I was at WWE at the power plant with NXT, as soon as I said, I'm the greatest of all time,
Mm-hmm.
everybody went Ali.
Yep.
And the only reason that they knew was because he said it all the time. Just don't think it, ink it. After ink it, burn it. Burn it into not just your brain, but everyone's fucking brain. When Muhammad Ali died, he will go down as the greatest of all time. Fuck what he did in boxing.
Yep.
I mean, you guys are old enough to know the shit that happened in the 60s and back when the first start of Black Lives Matter ever started. And guys like God, what the fuck's his name now? O.J. Simpson. He could have been part of this crew.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He took the money. Ali, Jabbar, Jim Brown, they made a statement. Ali took it to the farthest length because he got friggin' drafted. And if you can't live as a free man in your own country, why the fuck? He had to make a statement. He made a statement. And then I heard people say, because I'm a kid growing up watching this, and I'm hearing people say that he's a coward. He don't want to go fight in Vietnam. What? Muhammad Ali would have never seen the front line ever. Some general would have paraded him around like a god, like who he was. He would have never seen shit, just like friggin' the Bronx bomber, Joe Louis. He was in the army, and he went everywhere. I don't know what he saw from whatever, but Ali would have never had to give up his world title. He would have made millions and millions, but he really would have. He would have made millions and millions when $1 million was a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And because of his personal conviction, he went the other way. And that's why he will go down as the greatest of all time. Because he made one of the greatest sacrifices. Now, did he come back strong as fuck? Yeah, he did. And I was lucky enough to hang out with him for, I was lucky enough to hang out with him 3 different occasions. And this is a funny.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That was the 3rd time that we were together. And that picture would have been different if I got with him the 4th time. And I say that to say, I'm leaving Ali and I'm running to meet Kenny Norton, who beat Ali, and one of the greatest fighters ever.
Yeah.
And I was running to see him because I just wanted to meet him. And I run around a corner and boom, no bullshit. We run right into each other. And I'm like, damn, Kenny Norton. I go, I was just on my way to see you, man. He goes, DDP, I was going to see you. I go, get the fuck out of here. I swear to God. He goes, we got to get a picture. We got to get a picture. And he says, he puts his right hand up. And he says, do that diamond cutter thing you do.
That's amazing.
And it's the first time I ever did that with anyone. And the black and the white hand.
Yeah.
Super cool.
That's awesome,
Super cool, man. Super cool.
The story of DDPY is nothing less than amazing, man. It's become more than just a meal plan, more than just an exercise plan. It's become a movement. Speaking personally as somebody who has benefited from using DDPY, I'm down about 55 pounds currently. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, man. And
that is fucking awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man. It's made a massive impact on my life. My question for you, how do you feel about the massive impact that it's had, not just in the pro wrestling industry, but in the world as a whole, and become such a movement?
Well, it chokes me up sometimes because it's so authentic. It's no bullshit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we did with Jake's movie, the resurrection of Jake the Snake, which, if anybody's watching, if you've never seen it, please do not think that you saw it on YouTube. You saw a brief little piece of it. Go to Amazon Prime and watch it, and please leave us a review, whatever you feel. It's super powerful. It's super authentic. Everything's had a little place. First was the disabled veteran, Arthur Borman. Mm-hmm. And when people saw, and I did that for him, that blew up, and took our company to the masses. And a lot of people would have thought, like Shark Tank did, they thought we were a one-hit wonder. They had no idea. Like, first of all, it's not just a workout. It doesn't just change people's lives. In a lot of situations, according to these people, it saved their life. And Jake and Scott, are the once. Wrestling fans can be really cruel. They can be really cruel, but they can be amazing too. More amazing than cruel. But there's always that one person, like Arthur has, 40 billion fucking thumbs up, but he's also got like 4,000 thumbs down. Like, what douchebag would put thumbs down on that ever? Like, I would hate to be you. Sorry, it's kind of like the mayor of Atlanta, black woman. Really, I everything I've seen is amazing. And
Keisha Bottoms.
Yeah. There was some douchebag who wrote the N-word in a post about her, and she just said, "I pray for you." It's like there's no need for shit like that. The movement overall with the whole program, it's 8 years to be an overnight success. I was talking about Steve Yu and Arthur. Steve Yu is my business partner. He's like, have you guys noticed how cool, and you've never seen anything like a lot of the vignettes that are on AEW? They're different, right? Mm-hmm. They just have that special storytelling ability. That's my business partner, Steve Yu. Wow. Our company, Comeback Studios. I started doing all this for Cody when he was just getting ready to do All In, and there is no company. It was just because he wasn't around the Bucks enough just to do the All Elite thing they were doing. I said, let's do something for you. Charge them nothing. Because without bringing this guy over here, there is no Diamond Dallas Page. This is me and Dream 33 years ago when I was working in Florida Championship Wrestling. And without that guy, there's no DDP Yoga. There's none of this shit, And I started mentoring Cody either 12 or 13 at the time. And, there's a big part of, what was I talking about right before I said this again? Come on, help me out here. No, it was something I was talking about right before I showed you Dusty.
You're talking about how with combat sports and everything, Cody wasn't around the Bucks enough. You said you wanted to do just something for yourself.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you're perfect. He's listening. So, because I went way to the right there. Steve Yu is the guy who creates a lot of the stories. They come up with the storyline. Steve tells the story within the interviews and the bills. Like all those documentaries that you saw, like The Road to, we did all that. Like we're not just, we're not just a fitness company. We're a production company. But Steve Yu, I create these transformations with the people. I inspire them to believe. They get these crazy transformations. He takes that, interviews them, and creates these stories that go viral and millions and Arthur's video. We can track it, from this person on Facebook, this person who took it to Chinese, this person took it to Spanish. All these ones they changed. Over probably 500 million views. Mark Merrow, have you ever seen Mark Merrow's video about a mother's love?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
We did that. Steve Yu took what Mark was talking and pulled it together with the right this, the right that, the right music. We can prove that video of Mark's, who couldn't get anyone to believe in him and hire him to come out and speak to kids. So he was doing it for nothing. And when they didn't get paid anything, he broke even. And he did that for a couple of years. He was up here in Atlanta. I said, Steve, take the boys and go film them. Maybe we can, help him get some, some traction out there. That video has over 500 million views. Steve Yu taking something that was really well done and then making it better. And that's what Steve did for that Arthur video. I had done a version of that when I finished with him in 2008. That video, he redid it in 2012, and that was the beginning of everything taking off. So our next documentary will be called Relentless. And it's my story from when I blow my back out in it was right in 99, right in the beginning, somewhere around there. Really bad on dates. But when I blew my back out, and I had 3 spine specialists tell me I'm never going to wrestle again. And then I take you on a journey that Steve and I had been together. Probably we got together in 2004. So we have film, and I mean old school film, of me and people and shit that it encompasses from all the way up to 2020. So 16 years of footage we have. And it started as just being a mini doc that was going to show people like what we do, who we are, and how it happened. And it's become something so much bigger than. And it's going to inspire people at a different level. Because we talk about the dark times that I went through, and $300, $400, $500,000 in. I've invested in this company, and it's not going anywhere. And you second guess yourself. Everyone. The Rock, he did a whole thing on depression. Obama, Trump, Tom Brady, Oprah, Hillary, everyone goes down. But the really successful people don't stay there. They rise back up. And I talk about how I do that and how I turn things around and take off again. Because no one is positive, not even The Rock. He's got every reason in the world to be the most positive fucker ever, and he is. I love the shit that he does on the, on his channels and stuff. I catch it. And there's 2 times I've reached out, not to him, just put something out about him. Came back like so gracious and like, where the hell do you have the time to caught something I said about you? I know you got people, but they're super powerful. And, the whole program, Relentless, is just going to help take this company to a whole different level because it's authentic, like everything we do. And it's so funny. When we were filming Jake's documentary, it was so important to me that everything be raw and we have cameras everywhere because we come from the land of make-believe. When I look at politics today, fuck politics. It's such bullshit. The only thing that's real is wrestling. Why? Because we tell you it's work.
Yeah.
So it was really important to me. It was really important to me in Jake's movie that everything was raw. That people could tell. People know when something's bullshit or it's raw. And then I get a little, like people thought Arthur's video was a gimmick. How could he do that? Like, we were on 2020 separately, interviewed.
Right.
They were trying to debunk us. They never said that. They said, oh, we ran out of time and we couldn't fit it in. Fuck you. They realized, holy shit, what these guys have done here is fucking amazing. We can't have that.
Exactly.
There's one question that I did want to ask because you had mentioned it a little bit earlier. You spoke about, the younger generation, and kind of let's expand on that a little bit. What did you want? With your legacy and everything that you've done, what would you say is something that you want to pass on to the younger generation?
Never underestimate the power you give someone by believing in them. Like really understanding that, though. Really understanding on how much you believing in your future kids, your family members, your best friends, whoever it is. Never underestimate the power that can really give to other people. More importantly, never underestimate the power you give yourself by believing in you. And that's something relentless that, we all do this no matter what. But most of the time I'm up here, because I've already done it before. And I'm going to share something with you guys that no one really knows because it's something I've been working on. Has anybody here seen Castlevania?
Yes.
The show? Yeah.
Okay, so Adi Shankar created that.
Mm-hmm.
Adi Shankar was a huge fan of mine as a kid. I met him when he was 23 in LA. He did a couple of, he called them bootleg, like bootleg universe. Like he took, his first one was, it was his idea. He didn't direct it, but it was his brainchild to take the Power Rangers and do an some point X-rated video of the Power Rangers.
I auditioned.
Badass.
I auditioned.
You remember it?
I auditioned for it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Did you really?
Yep.
Bottom line is, it got millions of views. Back when millions of views was a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that the owner of the franchise Power Rangers sued Adi and YouTube, and they pulled it off the air. Adi's like, fuck you on CNN. I didn't make any money. I didn't monetize it. You can't sue me. Boom, went back up. I don't know how many millions of views it got. Another one he did, and he asked me, you guys remember The Punisher, the one that Nash was in with Thomas Jane?
Yep. I remember that.
If Adi would have been in control of that one, there might be Punisher 8 right now, but we only saw Punisher 1. Now, I've seen some great shit on Netflix, and the Punisher character is still a badass. But it didn't really get, turn out the way, it should have. So Adi got Thomas Jane to do a short, 12-minute short. It's called Dirty Laundry. And he asked me to play the disabled vet who owned a liquor store in the hood who's in a wheelchair. And I couldn't do it, but Ron Perlman did. And of course, he killed it. You get a chance, watch Dirty Laundry on YouTube. It's amazing. It's another thing Adi's done. Again, not directed. So about 5 years ago, he sends me this script. And he said, we've been talking about working together forever. And by the way, he's done so, if you look him up on IMDb, he's one of the producers of The Gray, like way up on top with The Gray, Walk Among the Tombstones, which is another amazing movie. Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt. I mean, this cat done a ton of shit. He went to the YouTube stuff because he's like, fuck you. After Judge Dredd, you're not changing my shit anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be in control of it. So this is this guy's history, right? So he sends me the script. He says, the characters are Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but they're not Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They're other superheroes. They're going to be different names. Pick whichever one you want. You're the first one to see it. I go, tell me which one you want me to play. He goes, no, no one's seen it yet. I go, bro, I don't want to come up with some character like Batman or whatever, and you turn around and tell me that you already got someone. So tell me which one you want me to play. These are all shorts. That's all they are. And they're a sequence of shorts. and ton of fucking dialogue. It's very cerebral for the Batman character. Long story short, I tell him I'm going to take this other character, not the Batman one. And he goes, "Why don't you want to take the Batman one?" I go, "Too much dialogue, bro. That's some heavy shit, man. I've never carried that much dialogue." And he's like, "Take another week. Take another weekend. Read it again." He goes, "You are this guy. You know, Batman never gets older than 40. You know, this character's going to be Nighthawk. He's going to be in his 60s. And this is before Deadpool. He drinks, he smokes, he cusses, he kills for the greater good. Before fucking ISIS, before Deadpool." And I read this, I go back, I call him, I go, "Okay, I'll do it." We end up shooting stuff, and we go back again, we shoot. It's a project's going to take a while. In the meantime, like a year and a half go by. Now I have to stop here and digress. This goes back to the question you had asked me earlier. I'm with this big producer. And when I first went out to LA from wrestling, a lot of people want to take meetings with me because they want to have a meeting with Diamond Dallas Page. Not so much Diamond Dallas Page, the actor, just Diamond Dallas Page. So I took every one of them because, you know, there's no bad meetings. And I can't remember this guy. His name was John. I can't remember his movies he produced, but he's pretty big. And he says, "So let me get this right. You're coming out here to Hollywood to be an actor." I go, "To learn to be an actor. Yes, I'm going to study and work with Howard Fine." He goes, "You hit lightning in a bottle in your 40s in professional wrestling. You had the most unbelievable career over that whole blow-ups thing, and you should never happened at all, but you did, and you blew it apart. You literally caught lightning in a bottle, and now you think you're going to catch lightning in a bottle again as an actor." I said, "I don't ever expect to be I expect, no, I don't. Chances of that." He said, "Really? I think I had a pretty good run, and you think you know more than me about this." I said, "I didn't say I didn't think it was going to be hard, but I disagree with you that it's 1,000,000,000,000 to 1." He goes, "Well, why do you disagree with me?" I said, "I know how I did it the first time. It wasn't like it just fucking happened. It wasn't like I walked out with a body of Goldberg. You know, fucking, you know, Goldberg just looked like money. You know, guys like that get the push. Obviously, you're 178 now. You're getting a hell of a push." But I realized even after doing, we just had the 15th anniversary of Devil's Rejects. I'd done a ton of stuff. But besides Devil's Rejects and Ready to Rumble, nothing of any, you know, not anybody would know from, you know, from stuff I've done. But we ended up, me and Adi, because we're the only two producers left on it. And what he has done with this, I don't know if it's going to be called Gods and Secrets, but that's the working title. And it's a very, very dark superhero series that if you're a gamer and you see what we did with this, if you're a fanboy and you see what we've done with this, and I'm not going to give anything else away on it, but it should be out no later than winter, you know, Christmas time, November, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, or it could be fall. But it's something that could do absolutely nothing. It'll get a little cult following, or it could be something that would change my life again. And lightning in a bottle with wrestling, lightning in a bottle with DDPY, yoga for people who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. When you see that documentary, and Steve Austin, he's all through it because he was with me all those beginning, all those years. We're still best friends. And he's like, I don't know. He actually goes, I don't know what the F he's thinking. Steve Austin doesn't say fuck. He says that. I couldn't. But the whole journey, it could be 3 times. It could be 3 times catching lightning in a bottle. And inside my Hall of Fame ring, this is how that will happen. The same way I did it in wrestling with DDP Yoga and maybe Gods and Secrets. Inside the band of my ring, it says work ethic equals dreams, exclamation point, DDP. That's how I did it.
Amazing. It's amazing. You know, when you're talking about the journey, I mean, I remember you in that state of, you had the vision, you knew, you could see where this could go, but you were questioning the process of how to get it out there. I remember that when it was YRG, and I remember when you were like, yoga, I don't want to really associate yoga because of the stigma guys had for yoga. And that's the amazing thing. And I think that one of the things that I've learned in the last decade is the fact that the only person you can own up to is you. And that is something that, you know, even in my 30s, I didn't realize. Now in my 40s, I know that responsibility is my own, you know, problem. I have to take that full responsibility of my choices. With what you've achieved, and something that you said here too that is very important, and it goes back to your first book, to the Positively Page book, and that was the yo-yo of life, how you hit the valleys and how you hit the high points. Do you think that the way everything is set up, that far beyond, let's say, you know, 2050, that it's set up that people will still be looking at you as essentially this shining of light, kind of like the way people think of Dusty, man? Like, you think of Dusty and it comes out of you. Like, there's so much emotion and so much positivity there.
I think that it's funny because I said it. Let's see, when did I go into 2014? I want to say in 2012, I went into Cauliflower Alley, you know, into their Hall of Fame. And the first thing they did, now, so let's say that was 2012. So it would have been like 2008. I was doing Brian Alvarez's show.
Okay.
And he said, 5 years from now, where is Diamond Dallas Page? And I said, I believe I will be the next Jack LaLanne meets Tony Robbins meets straight Richard Simmons. and I said, I honestly believe that, and there was still YRG at the time, but I'll call it what it is today, DDPY. I said, I honestly believe that DDPY will start to overshadow my wrestling career.
Mm.
And he went like, now, gotta remember, this is 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Again, DDPY is a 8-year overnight success. Just like Diamond Dallas Page, the wrestler, was an 8-year overnight success. 8 years. He went, that's a bold statement. Do you really believe that? I said, no. I said, I know that. Because it just makes sense. I'd already helped Arthur at that time, guiding him together. Every single person that, when I just had those YRG DVDs, that's all I had. There was no Motivational Mondays. There was no Positively Unstoppable. There was no eating plans. There was no cooking shows. There was none of this. There was workouts, period. And every single fucking who invested, took the time to invest in me, I sent them an email. Now, if you're watching, say, wait a minute, 2007, I got them. I didn't now, but I wrote the letter once, and then I cut and pasted and sent it back to the person, which wasn't a cut and paste email. I wrote, first of all, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want to thank you for getting the program. I do have 5 questions, though, that if you could take the time to answer them, I'd really appreciate it. DDP. A lot of people wrote back, this isn't DDP, this is bullshit. Some of those things automatically got sent out. You know, some people would say, okay, I know DDP said, never going to see these, but here's the answers anyway. Other people didn't answer at all. Arthur's answers were mind-blowing. So I, for the first time ever, wrote back to someone on the internet that I did not know who invested in my product. And I said, man, thank you so much for those, the detail, bro. I said, sounds like you need some help. I said, where are you right now? And he wrote back, cliff notes were disabled vet, morbidly obese, relegated to thinking of myself as a piece of furniture. I sent him back another email saying, send me pictures. And this cat, because I explained it way back then on the DVDs, take these 6 pictures. Really important. Is it about weight loss? Yes, but no. It's about your physiology, your flexibility, and your core strength. Month to month, if you take these 6 pictures, you will see your body morph. You'll watch it. And he sent me back to 2 pictures. The knee braces, the back brace, and the canes. His stomach was out to here. And I thought, wow, canes, man, how am I going to help that guy? He only wanted to lose 50 pounds. He was 297, 5'6". Want to lose 50 pounds so that he can get the VA to operate on his knees. Mm. So I sent him this eating plan that I got from a guy named Dr. Fred Bishy, my brother's Rory's, his mentor at the time. Guy was 78, could still run 20 miles on the beach, on the flat part, in the deep sand with my brother. Like stuff. And I sent it to Arthur. Now, if he writes back, I think I can do this, or I'll give it a try, I would have been like, awesome. Keep me posted. But he didn't write that. He wrote 4 powerful words. I can do this. I said, send me your phone number. That was the first time I called someone that I never met before that did my program. I called 3 people yesterday.
Wow.
That got my program and talked to each one of them for 10 to 15 minutes. The really fun one was, though, I always tell people, don't listen to a fucking word I have to say about my program. Go to Facebook. You go to Twitter and Instagram, you'll be blown away. But go to Facebook, DDP Yoga, one word, members only. I didn't develop this page. The people who do the program. There's just under 49,000 people on this page, active all the time, helping each other. No judgment zone. There's a girl, and she's big girl, 300 area. And she got her foot like this, standing on one leg in the first picture. And in the next picture, it's 6 months later. She's done the program every day for 150 days.
Wow.
Now you see what I've been doing with you the last hour.
Mm-hmm.
And her foot is like this.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Wow.
she's lost, again, 64. That's core strength at a different level.
Yeah.
Again, I can prove every fucking thing I say because I live it.
Yeah.
And I talked to her. I'm so pissed. Like, I'm only calling people anymore that have like the change if I'm filming myself. I'm bummed that I didn't capture it. She was walking on clouds. And I offered her because I know why. She lost 38 pounds in 6 months. If she was doing what I will guide her to the next 6 months, she'll lose at least 80 pounds in 6 months. And it'll be healthy. It'll be the right way. It won't be some stupid fucking diet. It'll be real food that you can continue to eat. Portion control will be pivotal, but that's how she lost the weight to begin with. And I mean, her energy was so, I talked to her for 30 minutes.
Yeah, man.
And, I don't know who does that shit, and I don't give a fuck. But if you got your own company, I've been doing it since 2000, I was sending emails out since 2005 to people I don't even know, thanking them for getting my program. I've been calling them since 2007 when I first called Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur ended up losing 32 pounds the first month.
Right.
He lost 22 pounds the second month. He lost 18 pounds the third month. That's 72 pounds in 3 months. But this guy was doing it every morning, 5 nights a week. He was eating perfectly. He had taken the shit out of his diet, meaning what he eats, not a diet, out of his diet. Diet is 2 different words. Mm-hmm. I have a diet, doing a diet, the new Wonder Diet, or here's my diet. Right. That's where I use the word. Because the first 3 letters of the word diet are die. They don't work. Lifestyle plans work. But I had so much fun talking to this girl, Stephanie, that I was like, okay, on my app, there's a place called User Guide. And if you go to the User Guide and you watch that video, and then you go down to the list is everything Arthur did. Vance Hines did. Jared Mullenkoff. Let's see. Arthur lost 140 pounds. And not just walked, but ran. Hines lost 198 pounds in 1 year and was doing did 7 half triathlons at 52 the following year. Jared Mullenkoff was 5'10". He lost 313 pounds in 17 and a half months. Wow. Stacey Morris lost 180 pounds in 18 months. If you watch those videos and then you watch Food Inc. and Genetic Roulette and all the shit I'm going to tell you that's on the list. And I told her, I said, when you finish the list, you've got my number. Call me back and we'll talk. And if she commits to it and doing the program, because I don't care how you do it. If you just friggin' do the program and eat shit, you're going to feel better. You know? But if you want to fucking life-changing, if you want to friggin' own your life, we're owning it. You want to own your life. Well, if you do it the way I tell you to fucking do it, it'll blow your mind. And again, it's all there. This shit is going to be here. You mentioned 2050. Whatever it is, however long God has given me on this planet, whatever it is, from this day forward, if I was tripping, hit my head, and fucking die tonight, this shit's going to be going on 100 years from now, maybe 200 years from now, maybe more. Maybe it even gets way bigger, most likely. Most likely, think about how many great artists from Van Gogh to, to whoever, their work gets, then everybody talks about them and forget about it. With all the shit we have and all the great, amazing instructors around the world that teach DPY, this will never go away. This is relentless. Like when people see relentless, they're really going to be blown away because it's completely different, but it's just as good as Jake's documentary. And I'm going to go back to that. The repetitions of affirmations leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin, repetition. Not going to say the whole thing again. But I was just thinking about where I'm going with this. Repetition of affirmations leads to belief, and once that belief becomes a deeper conviction, things begin to happen. Everyone says good thank you and great, love the workout, love the speech at NXT. The very last one is Tommaso Ciampa. And I just did a video of this, and it's up on my not this week's Motivational Monday. It's last week's Motivational Monday on DDP. It's also up my YouTube. You can find it. You put DDP and Tommaso Ciampa up there, you'll be able to find it because it was last week's Motivational Monday. Or you can get my app, cost you nothing, 7 days free. Go to ddpy.com and just order the fucking thing, and then you can try for 7 days and see what you think. Tommaso gets to me, shakes my hand. He's getting welled up while he's shaking my hand, looking at me. And he says to me, "You have no idea how much I needed to hear this today." And then he just gave me a big hug. He goes, "Dude, I love you. Thank you." And he walked away. The next night, I'm over at TV. And I see Alistair, he's getting ready, and him and Ciampa tonight, they're going for the world title. Ciampa's over near the stage, he's about to walk out, and he sees me. And I'm going to be him. And he looks at me, and he goes, "Affirmations." And he walks to the ring. If you've never seen that match, If you've never seen that match of Ciampa and Aleister Black, it's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And he ran with his thing. And the video we did was, I was the one of the first people to call him when I heard he got hurt. And I told him, when you're ready, come back. You need to come up and spend a couple days with me. And he did, because he does my program, and great kid, hard worker, talented. One last question was.
Final question.
Well, you want to go for Steve?
Go ahead, Tom.
Okay. We went through everything from DDPY to, your book to everything. What would you say your lasting legacy would be? Since you kind of mentioned a little bit, if you bumped your head and you died today, what would you want your lasting legacy to be?
Well, it's kind of like the same question you asked before, because it's kind of like the same response. I want people, to understand how important it is what people say to, it's what they say to their kids. Or I just watched the Tanya Harding thing, which was really well done. The One-Eye Tanya and the real one. And her mother thought by treating her like a piece of shit that made her work harder. You know what? And maybe it did, but I'll bet you if she treated her like, I'm so proud of you, you keep putting that work in, you keep busting your ass, you're going to be an Olympic champion. I think she would have been one.
Yep.
I think it would have been a no-brainer, because the kid had insane work ethic. She just didn't have any guidance. And whether you're an uncle or a father, an aunt, a grandma, a grandpa, that it's really important what people say to the people that they care about. And for them, like I said, I want people to understand that the power that you have within yourself. Never underestimate the power you give yourself by believing in you. The power that you give yourself is so much bigger than anything any cheerleader can give you. But that comes down to the art of owning it. The art of what is the story you tell yourself. And once you put the work in, you tell people about it. That was something that, one of my favorite quotes is, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. Henry Ford said that. But what the hell did he ever do? And that's the message. It's that it doesn't matter. And I say this at the end of Relentless. Doesn't matter who believes in you. There's only one person that's got to believe in you. Just one. It's you. That's it. And how do you get there? The repetitions of affirmations leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Doesn't happen overnight. I also talk about, I'm going to leave you with this. Oh my God, COVID. I lost my job. This happened, that happened. If I got sick as fuck, everything's happening to you. When I blew my back out, I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal. And like the NFL, not like the NBA, you blow your knee out in the NBA, you still get paid. You blow your knee out in the NFL, you're done. You're done. In wrestling, the contract that I had, if I couldn't wrestle anymore, 90 days later, they could get rid of me. It would have went bye-bye. They never would have fucking let me have fucking I think my contract was worth $4.3 million on a downside over that 3-year period. That would have gone bye-bye. I pulled myself down with emotional gravity. No one can be harder on you than you. Positive side is, no one can empower you more than you. And it all comes down to just don't think it, ink it, write it down, burn it into your brain. Burn it into your brain. Tell people about it. Tell people what you're doing. That much closer. Like we just talked about Gods and Secrets. Might be a different name. But I know finally this air, and I fucking sit down and start talking about this. People are not going to believe it. Like how the fuck this all came together. And with Adi, we're so tight as friends, but more with respect for each other. Like I told him everything. I left LA in 2011. You'll see, I lost my house. Friggin', I was all in. I put everything on this. And I told him everything that was going to happen, that's happening right now. Belief. That's what I'm going to leave you with. You got to believe. And you got to put the work in. Check out. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's the best thing. You're right. Putting the work in. Putting the work in and believing.
I'm going to leave you guys with this last thing right here, and it's on Relentless. Why haven't we released Relentless yet? It was done 8 months ago. Why isn't it out there? Well, we've been waiting on Resurrection to be re-released because the company that we put it out there on went bankrupt. So we never got paid from Amazon or Hulu, nothing. We had to get it back. I'm waiting on that. But we still could have put Relentless out there. But I didn't know why we hadn't done it yet, even though we were overwhelmed by all the production we were doing for AEW and all that stuff. And like, I never signed a deal with AEW because I never first of all, I want to be able to work with WWE because I love all those guys there and I want to help them. And WWE uses me when they need me, you know. But Cody, I'm there for him 100% of the time. And unless I'm wrestling, I don't let him pay me because I want him to know if I tell you something about the show or whatever, there's no agenda. You know, I'm helping you because you're my boy. It's like my nephew. And then he asked me to be a part of All In. I hit the Diamond Cutter deal, did a bunch of light stuff. And then he asked me about wrestling and being involved. And then he asked me to do this.
Wow. Remember that.
And if you don't think I second guessed myself on that, but I knew before I ever walked out there, before that day ever came, the only voice in my head was, I am going to blow these motherfuckers away. They are going to fucking become unglued. In 1987, I debuted on AWA on ESPN with the Guerrero brothers, and I was managing Bad Company. Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond.
Yep.
This is day one. Day one of this. I really wasn't that smart when it came to the business, you know. And at one point at the end, those guys were going to be on the floor, and they asked me to come by and pick them up. It's at the end of the match. And as I come to pick them up, Here comes Mondo Guerrero, and he runs up the rope to the top rope. We're down here on the floor, and he jumps. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? The last thing I may ever do in professional wrestling. All I did was channel my buddy, Mondo Guerrero.
Amazing.
So never give up, never stop believing, keep putting the work in, boys. It's been your pleasure. And everybody out there, you want to check out what I'm doing? Just go to ddpy.com, ddpyoga.com, sign up on the app. You won't find a better deal anywhere on the app. And 7 days free. So if you like it, keep it. Not, fuck it, dump it. Boys, it's been your pleasure. See ya. Bang!
Woo!
Awesome.
Hang right back at you, brother.
Bang! Love it.
All right, boys.
Thank you so much.
All
My
right.
pleasure, guys.
All
See ya.
right.
DDP, everyone. Thank you very much.